nonetheless, if I'm going to be seeing your design, please don't use pop-ins. Because if you do, I most likely would already, I'm very biased when it comes to fonts. And I do not like pop-ins for anything. So if I see pop-ins in your work, I most likely would not want to see the rest. But if you're not showing me, come on, if you're not showing me your work, you can use pop-ins. So far, I'm not saying it. Thank you. All right. So, yeah. So for websites, for landing pages particularly, there are two fonts that I use the most. I use SF Pro Display and New Montreal, right? So for those who worked on the challenge that Da Vinci shared out, you would know that I am a lover of Montreal. So I'm using that right now. Also, this is where I'm going to introduce. Now, as I said earlier, I am not going to be too organized, so don't expect to see me doing all that organization shit. This is how I wing it when I'm designing. One of the beauty of being a creative designer is the fact that you are able to wing it. Wing it means you don't follow rules. And you're not, please mute your mic, whoever that is, mute your mic. Thank you. All right. So winging it means you don't follow the rules, you are not rigid with being experimental. But right now, I need to use my grids. So, I'm going to use my grids now so that I would be aided in positioning this stuff. I'm using New Montreal. All right, so now that I have this here, does it look good? So now, one of the things people have asked me, when exactly do you know if it looks good? Truth be told, yeah, that you would know when you have enough experience designing and seeing enough works. Now, I am not so much of a fan of thinking about an idea when you don't have enough ideas in your head. I am one of the advocates of try as much as I'm the kind of person that would advise you to try as much as possible to take a look at what people are doing. Try to understand people's workflow, try to retain as many things as you can, or basically just copy someone else's design, but do not call it your own in the process. Copy as many designs as you can because it helps you understand how that person is thinking, and it helps you also, it helps direct your mind in similar direction. So this doesn't look good right now for a lot of reasons. I may not be able to pick out just yet. So I'm just going to increase my font size to take more space. Okay, I have this right now. This here. Do I need a CTA? All right, so I need a CTA. I'm not so sure if I need a CTA just yet. Now, there are two ideas. Is that I use a through or I use this white background and I slap images in, which I think would be the best direction to go, right? So if that's going to be the case, what ideas can I come up with to put me towards that direction? And I have one idea. And that idea allows me to do this. Basically put an image in between of my text, in between of my sentence. I'm going to embed an image in between. And then in many other places as well. So to start, it simply means I'm going to jump to the next frame and do that organization stuff there. So the first is I'm going to take, copy it, go to my next frame. I'm going to paste it there randomly. Make sure it says, make sure it's on auto width, or just make sure it's not extending beyond what it should be. I'm going to also take U2 as well, and I'm going to paste there as well. And start there like this, and then slap an image in between of the two with tape. So I'm going to put in this image here, set all three layout for the sole purpose of using all layout, and take the rest of the text like this and put it here. Now, the truth is this, this thing would not look good until the end. So do not be in a haste. It's usually like that. It usually doesn't make sense at first. For those of you who have had the chance to design with me, you would know that it doesn't look good until we are done. So everything is still experimental until we get clear course direction on where to go. So we have this here. We take you to where you want to go. Something I can also do is make sure things are not so centered. I think I like this. Yeah, let me use this guy. There are many opportunities for us to use this guy here. I'm going to center this guy in put this one in the middle and put this one where it is. Make sure it is 80 degrees to the left. And then take this subtext and then drag it here, slap that one here, possibly expand it so it takes more width. Should I increase one size? I don't think that would be good thing, so I'm going to leave it. Now I'm having this very weird in between my two texts. I am not a fan of space, large space in between texts. So what I'm going to do, use this guy because it's definitely the one taking that much space. Reduce to about so, make sure it's still centered, put this one up a bit. Yeah, better, that is much better. But is it readable? Not so readable. So what I can do here is auto layout. Oh no. I don't want auto layout. If I do auto layout, it will mess up the weird alignment I here. So what I can do is mute your mic. Please, Moses, mute your mic, please. Yeah, I think I can do that for you. Yeah, thank you. All right, so I have that there, and it's not looking so aligned. So please let me bring back my grid. Grid is my help in times of need. Oh, so people are beginning to ask me those technical questions that I hate to answer. As I say, when it comes to design, I wing it. So I am not paying so much attention to whatever details, except for the margin. Right now, the most important part for me is the margin, is the space I need to leave on the edges of my screen. The details of what the grid should look like, I would just show you, but yeah, just whatever you see there. I'm not a fan of the technicalities because on the long run, it doesn't help people when you get too technical. They still mess it up eventually. So I try as much as possible to stay away from the technical things. All right, now I think it's looking much better. Do we have enough images to make this look better than it is? I don't think so. I don't think we are there yet in terms of the use of images. And I also do not think we are there yet in terms of content, right? This looks too shabby, it looks too small. Two things I can do: increase the font size, 32. Now it's looking way too large. So I'm going to drop this to 24. Another thing you can do, which I have noticed a lot when it comes to typography, is when you use uppercase, it makes text look bigger. Although it has its own concerns. But right now, I would ignore those concerns and do what I have to do. I would use large fonts, automatically it looks even larger right now. Maybe push it to the left a bit so I get that bit of disalignment, just a disalignment right there. Good. This looks much better. Problem. I have the weird triangle looking like shape forming on this angle. I do not want to see that. So what I can do is basically justify this text so it looks more like this. Now, trust me, you can. Now, I choose to do it if it looks fine. So that is done. Notice the spacing in between here is pretty tight. I'm using enough space right there. So I'm going to push this to 130%. It's too small, so I'll go 150. Better. So I have it is not 120 or back to 30. It's not looking better. Go to one. Does it look much better now? It is better to the copy and probably just get more text. I'll get more. I need to fill that space with enough text. That is why it looks so weird. So if I put in more text, it should look better. See if that happens. How about now? How about now? I'm sorry, guys. I am so sorry. The only reason why we are going through this audio is because of the network. If the network were good, I wouldn't be setting up too many devices and causing this much problem. Apologies. And we are still very far from our destination. Or the 1 hour is not going to be easy. If I were working on this alone, maybe 1 hour, but having to explain my process would take more than an hour. All right. So, yeah, I'm going to take the content here and fill it here. And yes, it just looks much better. Let's see if I return it back to lowercase. Increase this by 140 pixels. Maybe make it not yet large. So I'm going to leave it at this for now. And I'm going to introduce what I call the visual element or visual cues. Now, it's a travel website. The only visual cue you want to have in a travel website is experiences. And experiences simply means you're showing pictures, images. So I'm going to randomly, like completely randomly place images around this website. I'm going to completely place images very randomly on this website. Now, this is an interaction thing. I think I already have it figured out in my head on how it's going to be interactive. So I'm just going to randomly place these images around the website. So just follow. The goal is to realize how I come by my designs. There are no rules and regulations. It's just vibes and inshallah. But once you get the idea, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to replicate the same process whenever you need to. So just watch. I'm not stupid yet. I'm not stupid yet. So just watch. Now, these images are going to be covering some part of the text, but that is not the idea. It's going to be done in such a way that you can see through the images. It's all about interaction. When the website loads and the content loads, when you make attempts to scroll, you will find your pictures. You'll be able to interact with them pictures. You'll be able to interact directly with the text as well. It's readable because the images are transparent and at the same time, they are overlapping the text. It's all interaction. Now, again, this is not set on stones. It's basically just ideas. I may be creating a third screen and then experimenting with that as well. It's completely experimental. Right, now that I have this, I have an image here. I have one here, I have one here. I think I need a button now. So I'm going to bring in a button. My button is going to be where it's supposed to be, right there in the middle. Expand it. Usually when I'm working on this kind of website, I use the stroke kind of button type. I'm going to slap in a random number here, and then I'm going to write my text. I'm going to say what call to action would make sense for a travel website. Come with us, I guess. Use auto layout here. Make sure I have enough space on the left. Come with us. But this time around, I'm going to use new and not Muglan. I'm going to make it all caps for reasons I am yet to figure out yet. And then I'm going to have like an arrow here. I'm going to quickly design one. Yeah, I realized some of you guys tried to do this arrow and you couldn't figure it out. Now, it's a very simple thing to do. I use the pen tool. I use my pen tool. I draw a straight line. Without cutting it, I look for where the center of the pen is. Somewhere like here. Choose height. Without clicking on anything, I just, clicking and dragging at the same time. Sure. I have that. I would only stop when the two lines are perpendicular. Oh, sorry, at right angle. What do I mean by perpendicular? They are at right angle. I'm going to do that for the second one as well. I think that works. And then I'm going to increase the thickness like so. Good. All right. So duplicate this. Make sure this is thinner, about 1.5 pixels. And then I'm going to copy this, paste it here. Make sure it's of the right size, like that. Give some spacing in between. 24 is fine, like that. And then, yes, I think I'm done with this part of the website. So please, we are not done yet. We need to explore more ideas. So for that to work, I'm going to scrap out everything I have here. Most likely change my font because I'm not a fan of this kind of font. So I'm currently not comfortable with it. It's feeling like it's blocking my creativity. So I'm going to try to use something I am actually more familiar with. I'm going to use Now that's the thing. That's the thing. Even if I want to do that, I would be limited because the ideal kind of font to use for such a website is not what I am used to. Okay, so I will try to wing it. I'll try to wing it still. All right. So let's see. Let's see if I can come up with a new idea. Now, ideally, this is the point where you want to go to awards, go to Dribble to find ideas, but we are so much out of time that I would need to do this manually. Now, I'm going to do it all over again. Take my text, bring it here. This time, I'm going to try to center it. Oh, no, I think I have an idea. The name of the website is Travelog. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to completely change the narrative. I am not going to use the typical header. Probably not even use the typical, scrap it. I have an idea. So I'm going to increase this guy to 40 pixel margin because of the idea I have in my head will take a lot of screen space. The name of the website is Travelog. So I'm going to spell that out. Travel, L-O-U-G-E. So if anybody has time there, let them see if this domain name is still available. If it's still available, it means we are in business. Website already be that. All right, so I have Travelog here. It's going to fill the entire screen. What I'm also going to do is, okay, let me see. I'm going to borrow Eugene. So I did something for Eugene. Yeah, this. I think this is a perfect kind of header for a situation like this. So I'm going to copy this. Yeah, of course, it's the same style of design. So this is like the ideal kind of header for it. So yes, like it comes to a point in time when creativity becomes a process. Yeah, right. You now have a creative process. And when that happens, it simply means you have rules to how things work. Now, ideally, you should not be guided by rules. You shouldn't be limited by rules. But with experience, you begin to form an habit, right? The moment I did this, the only kind of navigation that came to my head was this. And yeah, so you have it. So what inspires your choice of font? Okay, so for this font choice, I'm going to say that it depends on the kind of product I'm working on. If I'm working on something more portfolio-ish, I will be using bold fonts that have the tendency to get bold. Most likely your sans fonts, right? The likes of New, the likes of Bebas. Yeah, Bebas is a very good one for such a situation, right? So depending on the kind of product. Now, I'm working on a travel experience, which simply means things have to look premium and fancy. And the only kind of fonts that give you that result is this one I'm using here. Or at least the only kind of fonts that get you close enough to that kind of feel. Now, the next thing I want to do is slap in my image here. As usual, I'm going to use a very large one. Send this one to the back. So the Travelog G is overlapping on the image. I'm going to extend this screen so you can see what is going on down. It's a travel experience, so we most likely need a show reel. We most likely need a show reel to make that pretty obvious. Now, the beautiful thing about exploration design or exploring design is that the more you do, the better it gets. The more examples you have to play with, the more results you get. Good example, we started from this trash, we got to this, and it's not looking so much of a trash anymore. And then we are here. So someone is asking, when does research come in? Brother, I am not designing a dashboard. I am not doing research. It's a branding thing. When it comes to landing pages, especially these kind of landing pages, it's not research. I won't call it research, and I have to be fair with you. This may get me dragged that I don't know my job, but when it comes to landing pages, I don't think I need to do research, except if I'm designing like a product-based design. A product-based design. But when it is experimental, when it is this thing should have a name. When it is this kind of designs where basically you are not creating a website, you are creating art, you are creating an experience, you are creating art. You do not need to boil yourself down into the old research wireframing thing. All you need to do is get creative. Creative in the sense that you are thinking completely outside of the box. You are not constrained to rules and regulation, to the old thing, the old process things. Why do you think, basically, you get the idea, Sha? Yeah. So this is one thing to do. Another experience, which simply means I'm now going to duplicate and go to the fourth idea. Another experience we can work with rather than have, is it too early? No, I don't think it's too early. So I'm going to shelve it. I'm going to shelve it. So let's just continue with this. So with this, I have more ideas to play with. So I'm going to take my text and maybe, okay, I think we can manage what it is right now. I'm going to set it to 48 pixel top and bottom, or maybe not. Maybe 40 is just best. Like so. I'm currently using 20, so I'm going to reduce this to 18 for reasons I really cannot say. It just looks better. It just looks better. I think that's like fair enough. Good. Now it is close enough to the main title and the body itself. And our website is not Wanderlust, it is Travelog. Apologies for that. And the title is not EU, it is Travelog again. So please, yeah. So just let's continue. So this is going to be a show reel, which simply means you're going to have a play button. Now I have my go-to design for that. I'm pretty sure many of you know already. I do that circle thing that I like to do. I put in a stroke, make it thick too. In between, I write show reel, SHWRL. This makes it fancy. Instead of writing show reel in full, I just do this. And for some weird reason, it looks good. So I'm going to allow it. I'm going to put it in a frame like so and center it like this. And bam, we have our show reel button. So this is completely interactive. It follows your mouse when you get to that part of the screen, etc., 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 yada, yada, yada. All right, so that is that. We have the top part of our stuff done. So where do we put the CTA? Again, yeah, I know someone may have a question for this time, but let's allow it. Now, I'm going to give a good reason why the CTA is here. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to something I'm doing throughout this call, because the whole point is that you learn, you gain experience with things like this. I don't know if you're noticing, the moment I am pasting in anything, I am checking for my alignment. And my alignment is pretty consistent. If I'm using 20 pixels, it simply means my next major spacing will be 20 pixels more. That's 20, 40, 80, 120. You get the drill. Now, it simply means no point in time will it come that I don't have my alignment figured out, because I don't wait till I'm done. I do it almost instantly. Now, the reason why I have this call to action here is because by the time you scroll to this section of the screen, your show reel is going to occupy your entire screen. And the call to action becomes obvious at that point in time. Does that make sense? Good, thank you. All right, so yeah, let's keep up. So I'm going to have my button there, make sure it is completely aligned where it has to be, right at the base of there, like so. And then this is good. Now, for the sake of visual alignment there, we already have enough thing floating on this direction. So I'm going to show this guy to the other side. Like so. Good. So I have that. So I basically have my hero section done for desktop 3. Now it simply means I have to go back to others and try to improve on one thing. The whole idea is this: while you are trying to come up with an idea for one version of your design, by nature, when I say by nature, it's definitely by experience. You begin to have ideas for the other. Now, experience you can build up. You can build up that experience by basically seeing enough designs per day. Seeing enough designs per day is going to help you build that experience. So what have I learned? I have learned that while this guy would not be able to work here because of what you have here. Now, if you're going to allow this guy stay, it simply means you have to adjust the guys right there, like in the lower part of your screen. So as not to make this weird, what I can do is push everything to the top with auto layout, drag this guy down like this, and then skew it by, let's say, 5 degrees. Like that. Now you can see it rhymes with the guy down, with the images in the lower section. But as I said earlier, you have to make adjustments. You can't have images moving around so carelessly. So I'm going to delete one of these, and I'm going to push these other guys to the top like this, without taking my button. Yeah, I'm going to push the other guys to the top like this. It doesn't look good yet. or when I start adding images, it's definitely going to look better. So yeah, this is what we have right now. It doesn't look good at all just yet, but trust me, when we are done, it is going to look better. All right, maybe it's time to remove auto layout because it keeps expanding the space here and I am not liking it. So I'm going to tighten that space a bit more, like these. Throw this one off by -5, or no, 5 degrees instead. Push this guy to the left a bit so that the images are aligning properly. Yes, and then that is it. This is what we have. This is our hero section. This is basically our hero section. No worry. It don't make sense now, but at the end of it, it should. It should. I'm trusting God that it should. All right. Yeah, I think Google allows us to do more than 1 hour, so we are in luck. Let's just continue and enjoy this. Unfortunately, to be more than an hour because we are deep in 1 hour and we've not done anything. Yeah, so exactly. Thank you very much, Messi. The idea is to make it chaotic to a level. There is chaos that looks good. You know, there is this nice to say, true peace. No, I don't say it. I think it is from Naruto. True peace comes after what? Who knows? True peace comes after what? It's a quote from Naruto. Let's see if we have otakus on this call. There are 100 people here. At least one person should watch anime. Yeah, you you can't know true peace if you've not experienced war and violence. Yeah. Yo, Akiemi Michael, like from henceforth, you're my best friend. True peace comes after much violence. Exactly. So if you want to see beautiful designs, you must have gone through you must have gone through a lot. So yes, thank you. Yeah, you're right. So for this to look good, it must go through chaos. There's no room for peace just yet. All right. So I can promise you right now that this hero section here that you are seeing, so that looks so bad, is done. Now, to make this look more appealing or to give peace of mind to those who are yet to agree with chaos, I'm going to take this guy, put it here. Or no, I am not going to do that. I have a completely different idea for this guy. So let's work with these two. If I come up with a new idea, I'm going to push to one of the screens in the left and right. Now, so far, so good. The X3 looks like the most appealing. So we can work with it. Now, do not forget, the whole idea is that we are creating a travel website. So two things are important. The experience is very important. When I'm on this website, do I really feel like I want to travel? Does it make me feel like I should travel? How do we achieve that? The only way to achieve that, or the best way to achieve that, would be to heavily rely on animations and images. Unfortunately, I am not so big on animation. Even if I am, I can't do that right now. So I'm going to try as much as possible to use images where I need to. All right, we have this showreel experience that will do its job in making sure the user is aware of the fact that there are opportunities when you travel, you get to meet new people, see new places, try new food. The next thing we want to do is talk a little bit more of the product or the website. I'm going to take this guy, hit it down here. Yeah, very, very peculiar. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm about to do if you see enough of my website. Now, that is actually a problem. The more familiar you get with this, the less interesting it gets. So let's wing it. Let's do something else. So, right. Now, this is where challenges. This is where the challenge comes. So give me some time to think. I don't have this figured out yet, so I'm going to try to think. Okay, nice feedback. Akemi, nice feedback. All right. So what can I do to make this look like an actual experience? Web VR would be a good thing to do. And that said, I think we can actually make do of that. So I'm going to take the header again, and I am going to say something like the world around you. Yeah, something. Yeah, the world around you. It's way too large, of course. I'm going to drop that to about 128. Something like this. Or push it to about that side. I'm going to take Design your art, do I not lie. All right, so yeah, I'm going to try to get more content. Let me load up ChatGPT. As it's not as easy as you think. I've been talking this morning. It feels like I have everything planned out. I said no, no lie. I'm not planning easy as well now. I'm not planning easy as well. I said I'm not planning easy. I'm just gonna wing it, right? If it's going too smooth, if the thing smooth, una supposed to know say I don't do the design. I just a copy and paste. If the thing too clean, but no, it can't be that clean. I am currently thinking of what to do, and I'm running out of ideas. So it is perfect that I'm running out of ideas. All right, so yeah, I'm just gonna copy extra content and see where that takes me to. Okay, all right, or maybe I should just go and steal from my previous works and see what can inspire me. All right, I think I've seen enough. Yeah, back to where we are. Where are we? So the world around you. So what can we do here? We've seen images, we've read a bit of text, we've most likely had like an audio experience as well. Do we need more text or more images? Or basically, do we need more balance? Now, what I'm going to do here is pretty crazy. I would love to see it implemented. So if we have front-end developers here, it would be really nice. I worked on an experience some years back. And I say years back just so casually. That was last year. It's not years back. I did it last year. A virtual reality website. And truth be told, when it comes to creating experiences, especially with websites, virtual reality is like the best place to go. Or at least XR for the web. Web XR is like one of the best things you need to do. Or Web3.js, as they say. Now, that simply means that one of the things I want to do here is to create an experience where I take the user to a virtual location on their PCs. I take them to a place on their PCs, on their laptops, and then I create an experience in such a way that when they click on the button, it takes them to a location, to somewhere they have never been before. And in that location, we are then going to define the experience. We are going to define the experience in that particular location. Now, I have never done this before on Figma. I've done it before on VR. I've done it on VR. I've done it on AR. I've never done it before on Figma. So this is going to be, it may look confusing at some point, but the moment I get the idea, I am definitely going to share what I'm doing with you guys. So just hang around and watch me do stuff. So I'm going to double this, or at least make it bigger. 258 is good. I'm going to reduce the line height so it doesn't take my entire screen. Yeah, so one thing that I do, the larger the font, the thinner the line height. So you see for this one, or for these ones, I use 100%, but this one, which is larger, I'm closing it down to, let's say, 80%, right? And then, good, the world around you. So right underneath that, I'm going to have a text. And the text is going to say, join us in a virtual experience and see the opportunities that awaits you. Please, if I do typographic mistake, just allow it. Just allow it. If I see it, I'll correct it. But if I don't do screenshots. Don't screenshot it. I beg you. I still have my career to protect. Oh, oh my God. Yeah. So, yes, please. Thank you. Don't screenshot it. Thank you. All right. Now that is said, how do we bring these guys? How do we bring them into the experience? We need something that is intentional. It's not going to be a one tap button, because with a one tap button, that experience fades. So we won't be using a one tap button. We're going to be using something like this, but long press. So I'm going to drag this guy to the middle. I'm going to remove that background. It has a gray background, so I'm going to remove that. It's not going to be show reel anymore. It's going to be enter experience or something, but then I can just leave it as enter. Now, around it, I'm going to pass the information. So I'm going to use a plugin, a very, very friendly plugin, a plugin I love to use all the time in my websites. It's called Arc. Arc allows you to write text that look round in shape or something. Okay, so it says I should write the text first. So I'm going to duplicate this and say something like, a new world awaits you. And I'm going to have it in all caps because all caps just look better whenever I use arc. So these are pointers. These are pointers. I hope you are taking note. Many people use arc with small letters and it doesn't look good. It actually never looks good on small letter, but this is a hack. I've told you now. If you're going to use hack, who noticed that? This is a hack. But if you're going to hack the hack, you have to use all caps. Rhymes. I was going inside music industry at this point. Another career awaits me. All right, so yeah, let's let's use hack. Enough of that. Let's use hack. Yeah. So now, thank God for the new version of Arc. It allows us to know how much skewing is going to happen. It's not perfectly correct, but the moment I know it's approaching the center, I know I have to stop. So I can apply this now. And damn, it's way too much than I need. So, of course, start again. Sometimes this takes up to like 3-4 attempts. I think we got to 58 then, so I am not going to go to. I think 45 is just good. Let's see what result we have. 45. Yeah, 45 is 45 is good, but it's just a little bit too much. So I'm going to stop the next one at 40, and that should be enough. Yeah, done. Yeah, I think this is good. Even if it's not, I'm not going to do it in next one. We are going to manage it. So I'll take this guy, drag it here. It is way too much, as I said, but I'm going to allow it. You already know what not to do or what to do. So close this, select both, use my K scale to drag it down until it is around this guy. And boom, there you have it. So I can delete this one now. And then this hentai is just looking weird, isn't it? It's looking weird because the text around it and this one, they are not agreeing together. Another thing you need to take note of, the guy around there is all caps. This one is in the sentence case. It shouldn't be. So I'm going to make this all caps as well. And because of size balance, I'm going to drop it to 16. So there's a bit of agreement between the text in the arc and this object. Now, do I want to use an outline here? I guess not. I'm going to fill it with all black, 000 black. Don't ask me about contrast. Don't ask me about contrast. Don't ask me about contrast. I am not the one that made the rule. I will choose to use whatever color I want to use. Don't ask me about contrast. Okay, let's continue. All right. Yeah. So we have these now. We have we have this. Whatever this is it a button? Is it a pointer? Is it? Yeah, we have this right now. I'm going to frame it so it becomes a single element that I can move around. Yeah, you don't know the follow rules and regulation. I did not say that. All right. So now you need to think about the experiences here or what's going to happen. It simply means when all right, are we back? 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 My network went out. Are we back? Okay, thank you. All right, give me a sec. I need to attend to something. My tank is full. I need to shut it down. My tank is full. Please just give me a moment. I need to switch it off. Apologies, the network keeps tripping off. Good. Now that we are here, ladies and gentlemen, we are not done. We are not done with this section at least. Now, I need you all to know. I need you all to know that the fact that we are here does not mean we are where we need to be or where we have to be. The point is, does it actually make sense to have this? I am currently on the website. I scroll first. After a show reel, I am told to enter a new world. Is it the right progression? Do you think it's the right progression? I don't particularly think it's the right progression, but we have a lot to achieve. with this guy? So it's a question you would need to ask. Now, I don't particularly have the answer now because I am designing on a whim. There is no plan. Ideally, if this were to be an actual project, all that will be planned out. We'll have like several creative sessions and then talk about how it should be. But right now, that is not the question I'm asking. Also, do you think we should be using this on a white background? I do not think so, because using it on a white background means there is no experience, right? You want something like a visual cue that shows that, okay, you're about to enter somewhere. The background looks it, the environment looks it, the text looks it, everything has to be compelling. So it simply means we can't do with white background. Now, the closest thing I can think of right now is to use images. So I'm first and foremost, I'm going to like block out this region. I'm going to create a frame around it, like so. Yeah, I'm going to create a frame around it. Make sure my frame is correct. Back it there. Everything is at the center. Someone is asking where I am getting inspiration from. Almost, I'm discussing the workflow and then I'm thinking about solutions. As of right now, that's what I'm doing. All right, so I have this here. Now, one of the few ways to execute this that will make it make sense is to do something like this. So as you load the website, this guy expands, right? It expands because that's like, if we are going to think about this properly and execute it well, we have to do something like that. We definitely have to do something like that. Right, so while we are that, I'm going to keep this guy, probably just take it elsewhere. I'm definitely going to use it, but I am not convinced that we have to use that section immediately after the show reel. I think we need to experience more before that part. Who agrees with me? Any creative director in the chat, if you've taken the role of a creative director, you may likely agree with what I just said. All right, so yeah, so let's do a bit of conventional before we go there. So I'm going to do a bit of the conventional, and what that simply means is I'm going to take some more part of, man, this is messed up, you know. This is messed up. All right, we will definitely figure out what to do after this class. This is the first, so it's a bit disorganized, and network is not making things easy. I should be recording this class, but the way my recorder works, if network trips and my screen goes off, the recorder will stop recording, and I may likely forget to continue it, and it's going to be wasted effort eventually. So I would not want to bother myself with that right now. Do I want to do this? It's looking too regular. Okay, we don't reach bus stop again. What can we do? I scroll down the website, I get to a point where I have images, I scroll down. Yeah, the next thing I should actually say is still text, you know, like I guess I can't escape it. It's definitely still going to be text. It's definitely still going to be text, but this time it will be text backed up with like several images, right? So instead of deleting that guy, maybe I should just create visual elements around it to make it look more compelling. I think that's the problem. It doesn't look good enough for me, and that's why it's messing up with my brain. I'm going to use 80 there, and I'm going to use 80 also after this. 80 after that. Yeah, like so. I'm going to create more images like that. Does that look good? No. So I'm going to send this on to like an action end. Oh yeah, I get it. Probably just make this one look like this. Yeah, like throw it off completely. Why this one remains here? And yeah, I probably want to add a couple of visual cues or visual elements around. So I'm going to do this here, remove the background, not show you this time around, probably not even any of that. It's just going to be like a star or something. Yeah, let's use the arrow I created earlier. My God, I don't delete the thing. All right, so I'm going to copy this, drag it here. Oh, these things are like conventions for me. Now, I'm just trying to fill in the empty spaces. When we get back to the point where we have to think, yeah, like thinking hard. The only way I go hold class where I no go think, especially for a design session like this, is if I already have my design done and then I'm just copying and pasting. And it's not fun because I don't think it's fun. No. You should be able to see my screen. You should be able to see my screen. Good. May no static or big. All right. So basically, the reason why I have visual cues around is to fill in the empty spaces. Those spaces that look pretty off, you're going to be filling them with like some visual elements to fill in the empty spaces. Now that I have this section, I've created enough balance. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to showcase destinations, right? We've talked about the company itself. We want to showcase destinations. And a good way to showcase destinations is to create a list, right? A list would be like a very good way to showcase destinations. So I'm going to drag this further down, and I'm going to write something like, ChatGPT should help with this, but let's just allow it. I'm just going to write destinations. I'm going to clean up this design and share on Twitter eventually. But for now, let's just write destinations and set this to 128. It's Moglan. Yeah, Moglan. So let me put that in the chat. Moglan. All right. So now, I don't know if you guys are learning. I believe you all are learning so far. One thing I would love to say is if you would love to have sessions like this or get exclusive opportunities to see me design live in many other situations aside from the ones we'll be organizing, there is a Discord channel that was shared earlier. You want to join that channel? Whenever I want to work, I will randomly drop links to a Google Meet link where I basically just share my screen and then work. So if you're interested in being a part of that, get into the Discord channel. All right, so destination, yeah? And then a little bit of notes. I no go really think about waiting this note. So I'm just going to clear out like some part of the note. So about what I think is going to be enough. 32 is way too large. So I'm going to drop that to 24. Like so. Reduce this like this. Yep. So it's completely within. Okay. Now, is it justifying? Okay. My bad. It shouldn't be justifying. All right. So, okay. The link. Give me a moment. I know the link was shared earlier. So let me see if I can find it. Yeah. Good. I found it. So I'm going to paste it there now. All right. Yeah. So I've just shared the link. So you do well to join in. All right. So now that I have destination, I can begin to show some of the destinations that we have available in this company. So 80 again, this time around, I would not make it, I won't be making it aligned. So it's also going to be scattered, right? It's going to be scattered, completely misdirected. There is no basis for alignment. It's just going to be like that. But why this is like this, we also need to write the names of the destination. So please do well to write your favorite place to go to in the chat while I copy and paste them. Your favorite place to go to, let's have them. For me, as I never come out this country, my favorite place to go to, Nice. Enugu. So, oh, come on, brother. Enugu. Jeez. Now the Lord goes with you, brother. Like, yeah, the peace of the Lord follows you. You know, it goes with you. Me, I will just stay here to chill. As I don't go anywhere before, I will just stay here. So you have Maldives, you have Santorini, Munich. Yeah, Munich is chill. Munich, Japan, nice. So rather than Japan, we'll write Tokyo. Tokyo. Let's have more. Let's have a couple more. As I said earlier, it is not going to be not too much alignment with this thing. Just try to place that randomly as you can. Kenya. Which part of Kenya? I'll just write Nairobi. And yeah, lastly, Casablanca. That's a fine one. Good, Casablanca. All right, with that said, I think we have enough. We would still make adjustment to some of these places. Now, that is just the name. Do you think we need more information about this location? right? Do we need more information about the location? All right, I don't think so right now, so I'm just going to skip on that. Now, after we have all that, I think I can now bring this guy in here. I can bring this guy in here, and I am not going to be using white. So for now, since we don't have images, I'm going to fill it with gray, or just make it black and then fill every other thing with white. Like so. Make this 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, like that. Make sure this guy is centered. So centered, yeah. All right, so we have all that. We have this guy. This guy becomes an experience which we have to define eventually later. Or we could do that now. We could define some of that experience now. I'm going to drag this down even further and then create an illusion, or basically tell you about the idea. What is going to happen here is this. When the user clicks on this button, which is going to be a long press action, a transition happens in a way that it takes them into something that looks like a virtual environment. A virtual environment that looks like something is fading into the, something is fading. So to create that illusion, I'm going to do that right now. I learned the whole of this when I was working in XR. I don't be doing much XR again, but very soon, big announcements. Myself and Mide Ajayi, which I believe is on this call, we have something coming for those who are like interested in extended reality. So if you're interested in extended reality, follow Mide Ajayi, follow me as well, turn on post notification, and you will get notified. So I'm gonna fit this into the abyss, and for this other hand, yes, I'm going to use another color. I'm going to use white. Now, the only way this is going to make sense is this. Just bear with me. It will soon clear. Stay with me. It will soon clear. Watch this, yeah? I'm going to introduce a new frame in here. Now, some of these things may look on the complex. It may look on the complex side. That is completely fine. If you realize so far, many of the things I'm doing because I have done it before, and it's all based on experience working on things like this before. So you may not necessarily hit the first one you do perfectly on the head, and that is fine, right? It is totally fine. The only problem here is that you have to do enough, and enough means you have to practice regularly. Now, this is not looking the way I want it, but you get the idea. It's just an idea, right? The whole idea is to create like a 3D layer. So I'm going to put off the grid so you guys can see it clearly. So if you take a look at this, somehow it feels like I would design this thing for Blender. I would do it for Blender before I post them for Twitter. I would do it for Blender. I would design all the elements, including the 3D elements, where I go use for this website. That way it looks perfect. But right now, let's use Figma, because all of us are familiar with Figma. If I open Blender now, we go finish this class for 12 midnight and work day tomorrow. I never do all of my work finish. So we know if it waits for that long, we'll be able to wait that long. All right, so I'm going to copy the closest shade to this. It's too dark. So let's see if we can bring it even closer. And eventually we're going to use something like a gradient as well here, a linear gradient. The top is going to be a bit bright like this, or less, like so. And the end part is going to look, yes, just like that. Yeah, perfect. So now, if I zoom out, you would see an illusion that makes it feel like there's something in the distance. I hope it's not really me the same, but that's what I'm creating. Can someone agree that they are seeing the same thing? Okay, good. Thank God. Oh, people are clapping for me. I have done it. I have proven to the world why my name is the one. The one. All right. Yeah. So that is the idea. Now, again, to make it clear here, one of the things you need to realize is this is a creative design process. I know people may ask again, what is the source of inspiration? Are you using a reference? Now, in situations like this, that answer may be vague, right? I see enough to know what to do, and I practice enough to know what to do. Finally, it's a creative design process. So most of the time, the so-called rules and regulation have to be broken to achieve certain things. Unfortunately, I think someone is recording the class. Someone said, someone mentioned that they were going to record the class. I hope the person is still recording, because it'd be like saying himself will need the recording eventually. All right. So while that is going on, I'm going to extend this white layer like so. So we have this emptiness. Now I believe you now understand what I mean, that when they long press on this guy, when they long press on this, that is when the experience begins. So the experience begins in such a way that it takes them into this virtual world. Now, understand that this black area is not a virtual world. This is a void. It simply means I'm going to design an actual environment, an actual virtual environment. Most likely it's going to be photoscanned, or it's going to be a 360-degree image, or someone who has strength and might designs a whole city in Unreal Engine or Blender and then brings it into the website. One of those will happen. So when they long press on this, they are teleported into that experience. And this is a vague idea of what that experience is. Now, within that experience, the user is able to now see a carousel. All these one, now here they come. Now this carousel they come, but I don't finally reach here, so let me do it. So the carousel comes in different fashions. Anyways, it could be completely spiral, which means it's completely 360. For as long as you stay within that area and you keep moving your mouse, it keeps being 360. Basically, what this offers you, or what this offers the visitor or the guest on this website, is exclusive deals by this particular agency. If you remember, that was one of the requirements we're supposed to meet in the task, right? The website is supposed to offer exclusives as well. So in this virtual world is where they are going to experience those exclusives. Exclusives will come, hey good, Wimbo. All right. Those exclusives are going to be made available when they get into the virtual environment. Let's keep it simple so I don't keep saying rubbish. It's like I'm waffling right now. So let's keep it simple. I hope you get it. All right. So far you have the idea I need anyway. We only need the idea. So once you have the idea, we're good to go. So I'm going to just leave this as it is. We're going to balance it up with images eventually. We have our virtual environment. Now, to make this look like it is in the distance, you also need to use gradients. Now, if you're wondering how I know what to do without testing it twice, I used to do XR design. XR design is completely 3D, and I did some of that on Figma. So I know a lot about how to use gradients to create illusions. Now, that also you would need to learn by practice. You don't have to worry. If you just started designing, do not worry. Do not worry. Design would not go extinct in forever. All you need to do is know what you want to do and give enough time to practice. All right. So I don't know how these cars will look like yet. I wouldn't want them to look exactly like this, because at this point in time, it's I know what to do. I think I know what to do, but we would need more space than this. So should I do it? All right, let me make an attempt. I may not be able to show more than all right, I'm going to leave it. I am not going to be able to do it because there is no room for it. All right, so the next question I want to ask myself, I have shown these guys exclusive deals. I have shown them those exclusives that are very particular, to the product. Now, what else can I introduce in this virtual space? Again, don't forget, the whole idea to creative design is creative thinking. We have to think to get results. All right. Please give me some time to think. I have given them access to see exclusive deals. I should be able to show them landmarks. Someone mentioned landmarks earlier. So whoever that is, smart, landmarks. We need to show them landmarks. So the question is how do we transition from this void into those landmarks? Have you guys ever asked yourself, those 3D websites that you see on awards that are like you are watching movie in a website? How do you think the designer designed it? Did the designer really use Figma? I bet you sometimes I ask the question the same. I don't think they use Figma. I think they just talk, and then someone somewhere that knows how to use 3D tools like Unreal Engine or those things begin to come up. And the creative director will reach one point and be like, yes, this is what we need to get. This is the location we are headed. But right now we are stuck with Figma. So let's find out. It's a virtual world. It is completely 360 degree. It's no, not 360. You're watching from your PC, but you have access to a vast space, basically. When you scroll in a particular point, you get a carousel. What is the best way to transition into another part of the website? So I'm going to show you guys something. Let's see if I can remember. I know Dior released a website at some point in time. I don't know what it's called anymore. Let's see if I can get it. It's a 360 degree experience website. Now, if I don't see it, I would hate myself, you know. No, not this one. Nah, that's sad. You understand what it means to lose love. Okay. I can figure it out. Let me use the right prompts. 3D experience. See this? Who are you? I know if I see maybe this. If I see the no, it's not this one. It looks like it though, but let's see. Let's just chill. Just please just wait around. This will be helpful. So if you have time, just wait around, please. Well, it looks like this is going to be the new me for the next 10 days. While that is loading. Oh yeah, I found it. This no. This is the website. This content you can see here. These two images are definitely from the website. These two images are definitely from the website. I think I found it. It's this one. It's this one. So let's wait for it to load. Yeah, so brace yourself for. Oh, yeah, brace yourself. Now, yeah, can you see? Good. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So this is the experience. You can see the word that says enter here. So you're about to enter a virtual world, and the prompt says enter. So if I go back to my design, this thing I have here, this is exactly what I want to achieve. This is what it looks like when you are browsing, but this is what it looks like on Figma. It looks like trash on Figma. But when it is implemented, it will look something like this. And when you click enter, it basically takes you to a virtual store.
Toby, can you mute your format, please?
And oh, okay. Nah, no be this one you find. Oh, I never say I'm not be this one you find. God. That's not it. That's not the one I'm looking for. But this is close, yeah. This looks like you can move around here. This is close, but it is not. It is close to what I'm looking for, but it is not. But basically, you can do this. You can do this on. Well, you can't do it on Figma, though, but you get the idea. But that's not where I'm going. And I won't give up. The only reason I will give up is if, well, anyways, I have to give up. There's no time. I need to move forward. We need to make progress. But I will try to look for the website and I will share it with you. Yeah, I'm not giving. I don't want to go outside. I don't want to sleep. Okay, let's see. This is the website I'm looking. Nah, I'm lost here. Yeah? I know. I will look for it. It was one of our case studies for last year when I was working in XR. So it should be in my Slack channel. Somewhere in my Slack links, it should be there. So I'm going to look for the link and I'm going to show you guys eventually. Yeah, so if you have not joined the Discord, this is one reason to join the Discord. Very soon, some things are going to be exclusive to guys within my Discord. So, yeah, please. All right, so you get the idea. Now, I think I have a solution. Because it's completely, you have your mouse. You have your mouse to scroll on the website. Meaning at some point in time, you have to get to another part of the website. So it's either we are using buttons to navigate or we are using our mouse to navigate. And I think because we can't illustrate what the mouse looks like on this design, I'm going to use a button. So remember that all of this you are seeing, all this thing you are seeing is only visible within your viewport of your laptop. So nothing is going to crash. So I'm just going to drag this down, drag this guy down to create more space, drag this one down as well to create more space, because everything is going to be within the virtual environment. When we get back to this white space, means we are out of that environment. So this is going to be the last thing here. And as I said, it's going to be landmarks that you can visit, and then you can visit the landmarks and you would have access to see 360-degree images of certain locations. Chill, right? So again, we're going to have all those names listed, but this time it's also going to be in a list view. So I'm just going to duplicate this guy, not to waste time. I want to move at speed now. We are almost 2 hours in. Yeah, so something like that, right? And then there's going to be an exit button at the base of the website to leave that 3D experience. Remember, if you don't click on enter, you won't find this. So it's more like an Easter egg for those who are patient enough to explore the website. Permit me to use the weirdest names for my call to actions. As I said earlier, I am currently not thinking because I am trying to rush this. I think black was better. Yeah, black had better contrast. All right, so all right. Yeah, I'm thinking, please. Okay, so after I hope you can still hear me very well. I'm a bit distant from my mic now. After you've left this experience, the next thing you want to do is create the finishing experience, the experience that closes the entire thing. What do you think should be there? Now, I'm going to just go back to the challenge and see what we have here. It says landing page for travel agency, tailor-made itineraries we've done, unique experiences we've done, stunning levels of destination we've done, customer reviews and exclusive offers to entice potential clients. So the only thing we've not done is customer reviews. So let's quickly come up with a design to solve that problem. Can you see my internet speed? I swear, if not before internet speed, I for them they sit down with global talents. I swear. Anyways, yeah, let's do reviews. So what should that review look like? What should that review look like? Do I have? I know the design reviews. Well, let's see. What should that review look like? Can a front-end developer implement this? Yes, of course. Why not? Now, it pay me say I don't see that website too. This one I'm doing is even simple. The ones we've done, the ones I've seen, the website I've experienced in my life, I know for a fact that so far the designer can think, the developer too has to think. He has to use his head as well. Now, 2 of us will use our head for this project. So yes, it is. All right. So how do we exit this and land on feedback, land on customer feedback without breaking the style? In fact, the style has been broken from the very beginning. The only way this website is going to make mad sense if it lands on the hand of a very good creative developer. So how do we get into comments and not break it? I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. Oh yes, I know. Yes, I know. So good. Yeah, I have an idea. First off, we can't just jump into comments. We need to break that experience that they've been having from top to this level. We need to cool it down with some text they don't necessarily have to read, but basically something to break off that rush, that flow. Let's cool it down a bit. When it comes to designing a website, make it look like a movie. The beginning, the first 15 minutes, the first 20 minutes is usually very slow, except for like mad ass action movies. It's usually very slow, but as pace builds up, the adrenaline begins to increase. Now, towards the end of it, things begin to settle, you begin to understand what is going on, and then the pace goes down again. So at this point, we are at about that level where we begin to tone down the rush. So to do that, let's have some text. Now I'm going to do one thing I am not so comfortable doing, but I'm going to do it anyways. Mixing two fonts at the same time. I do not like it. I have tried it once. It worked perfectly. So I'm going to try it again. I need text. I need some copy to make that work. So it says ready to make a transformative. Exactly what I need. So I'm going to paste all that guy here. Make this new, NEUE, and then take it one by one. Ready to embark is going to be in the next one. So I'm going to copy this, paste it right here. Make this new. Ready to embark. It would have been mad if this were in italic too. I swear it would have been like really, really mad. So next time you're going to choose a font, make sure you have italics. In case you're going to do something like this, that one that looks weird, it is best in italics, but I don't have, it's a free font. Let me see. Did I download the italics version? I don't, two looks like it. Nah, God forbid. All right, there's an italic version of Moglan that I don't have, but if you get it, try doing this. You would enjoy it. On a transformative travel experience. Ideally, transformative should also be in Moglan, but it's too early in the text, so I would not feel too comfortable doing that. But what can be in Moglan again is travel. No, experience can be, experience. So I'm going to put a space here. I'm going to tighten this a little bit, like so. Use Moglan for it, like so. All right. Yeah, as I said, if this were things are not looking so good just yet because there are several ways to doing this. I may want to break. Let's see if that will work. Do this. Now do this, but make it centered like this. I will use italic in the middle, just underneath transformative, like this. I think this looks it's too short. Okay, so there's no problem. What I can do is increase that font size to something like 128. I want to make this large as large can be. So I need all the font sizes, get to be large enough to take enough room. So if I drag this down and I do this, I can bring this here. Does that work? Does that actually work? Let me see if I center it. Okay, good. So I have to separate all the text. Eventually, I would have to separate all the text to achieve what I want to achieve. Oh, shoot. Can you hear me now? I went off for a second. Can you hear me? Damn. Since when? 1 minute ago. Apologies, but I'm back, right? My? Good. Transformative travel. I go separate travel to bring travel. Now, I would have loved to put it to look normal. It shouldn't look normal. It should look weird. So I'm going to put this guy right underneath N, like this, and then I'm going to smash in experience beside it, like this. Make sure those are aligned. Drag this down a bit, or just select all three. Make sure they have equal spacing. -11 is like mad. So I'll just set it to 0, like this. Yeah, I think I like this. It looks weird, right? But I like it still. What I can do to make sure this does not look weird is to collapse that, yeah, whatever that is. Figma introduced it and I like it. Yeah, so we have this, right? We have all this. No, it never really bang like that. It doesn't want to bang. It doesn't want to bang. So I'm going to leave it. I don't have the time to fix it yet. So I'm just going to leave it here. Now that I've broken that flow, I want to add another visual cue here. So I'm just going to borrow, and I'm going to borrow this guy. I like this guy here. Paste it here, make it black where necessary. Instead of using, I'm just going to use outline instead. Make this guy 1.5. It's not going to be pressed anymore. I'm going to remove that guy, and probably I'm going to like use a star. So there's a way I used to design my stars, and I used to feel it until somebody corrected me shamefully. But still, I'm going to do it anyways. Yeah, so I do this very unnecessary stress, but I just like doing this. So basically, this is going to be helpful for someone out there who, yeah, well, yeah. So if by the time I'm done, you will see why it is fine. Yeah, it's fine. Can you see? It's very fine. Beautiful, beautiful star. Now, a solution. The solution the person told me basically is to write star. Just write star. Yes, write star, and you are done. Instead of doing whatever I just did. For me, I like my own. But in case you don't have time, just write star and look for different fonts, because I noticed different fonts have different ways of writing star. Look at, wow.
Dami.
I made a discovery. Yeah, we made a discovery. Look at this one. This is the star for whatever this is. I'm going to copy this font and put it in my clipboard so I do not forget. I like whatever that is.
All
right. I hope I remember that I pasted something in my clipboard. All right. Yeah, so this looks nice. This looks nice. I like it. So let's go look for another font. So this is another star. This is another one. So basically, when you have this star, what you want to do is just flatten it, and then it becomes exactly what I just did, without you going through stress. Yeah. So yeah, look at that magic. But yes, I am very selfish and very personal when it comes to my design. I'm going to use mine still. Reduce the size, make the weight smaller like that. Maybe close this one a bit. It's taking too much wingspan. You know, one move. You see this up? Yeah, good. Yeah, so it looks much better now. Yeah, it looks much better now. So I'm going to leave this guy here, and right underneath it, I'm going to have our comments. So based on the kind of design pattern we've been using, 5 is looking too thick. Yes, so much better. Based on the design style we've been using earlier than now, we would want to make sure that whatever we stick to a pattern. I would have used the square thing for make it cursive again, like this. Definitely the names are not going to be big as that. I'm going to reduce that to about 48 pixels like this, and make 20 pixels here. Oh no, 24 is fine. Of course, if you don't scatter it, what's the beauty in it? There's no beauty if you don't scatter it. Then I'm going to smash a shape right there, send that to the back, something like this. I'm going to frame this guy so it becomes a single element, and I'm going to just duplicate that over like this. Something like this. No, not circles. Let me use squares. The circle is looking weird. We've not really used any circle-like images since we started, so it's giving me weird vibes. So I'm just going to use a square instead. Apologies for that. Yeah, click to replace all, like so. Up, just copy this and replace this, and then just yeah, I guess that works. Center it. Yeah, so we have our comments. And lastly, because I am tired already, apologies, I'm tired already. I am just going to jump straight to the footer. Not because I'm done, but because I'm tired. I'm going to jump straight to the footer. So good for me. Because of my last experience with footers, what I did basically was to create a lot of footers. So I'm going to go there now and look for it. Or maybe not. Maybe I should just go here and look for a footer that works. Here. This looks like it's going to work. I'm going to copy the lot of these. I'm going to copy all these, come here, back to my project, and I'm going to slap it right there. Put this up, change this fonts from New Montreal to Moglan again. And the name of our website is just going to appear there. The name of our website is maybe reduce it this time around. 250 is fine. I'm sorry, I should change the copy as well, but again, I don't know. I think I've done enough talking. Yeah. So yeah, this is what we have. This is what we have. Oh boy, work is calling. Oh. This is what we have so far, but then we don't have images. Now, this is the last part of the design. I know many people are eager to leave, but I see people misuse images a lot. Images may make your design, can make your design look good or ruin your designs. So yeah, Sindel, someone is recording. So after the whole session, I am definitely going to get the recording from the person and then we can share that. I shared a Discord link with whoever is interested in being a part of, I don't want to call it a community yet, but eventually that's what the plan is, where I will be sharing Google Meet links to people who want to watch me design live. I am pretty sure a lot will be learned. Right. So yeah, the link is there right now. So I will share the link eventually there and also share it on Twitter later. Twitter later. Rhymes just a drop from my mouth this night. Mad. All right. So now that we have all that, let's use images. As I was saying, the wrong images can kill your design. Whenever you're working with simple designs that are like not so heavy on colors, you want to make sure you are not going heavy on the images as well. Now, if I had used a ton of blue and red and green in this design, using colorful images would make total sense. Now, because it's a simple design, I want to keep images, I want to use images that are well-toned. Well-toned. So please, I know you were not seeing my screen before, but allow me to do this. I may need to share my entire screen so that I can compare, I can show you guys what I mean by comparing the images with the website in some cases where it applies. So I'm going to share my screen now. Again, please, I'm sorry. It may look tiny, but just allow it, please. 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 Thank you. All right. So yeah, I'm going to, okay, maybe I should close this folder and then I can have enough design area here and then I can visit Pexels here. I use Pexels to generate my images, by the way. All right, so I'm looking for now, God bless Pexel. I am seeing the kind of images I want to use. I am seeing the kind of tones I want to use. Now, remember, the website has been simple, so your images will be simple as well. Can you all hear me now? Yeah, I'm sure you all can
Yeah.
hear me, right? So I was talking about the image not being too is built simple. So images should not be overexposed. I beg you in the name of God. So for some of the guys that shared their kudos to the guys behind the Design Clan Challenge. Kudos to you guys. I appreciate the fact that you were able to consider one of my works worthy of being something to do a challenge on. I appreciate it. Although you guys chose the very simple ones, I wish you could have done the more other ones, but it is fine. It is fine for day one. Hopefully, when you get to day 30, you should be ready to, recreate some of my very difficult designs by God's grace. When that time comes, I would most likely reach out to the organizer to give you. Don't mind me. I'm just waffling. Anyways, the point is, we are working on a simple design. You don't want to use loud images. I was talking about some of the guys that submitted their designs and changed the images. Trust me, the images you chose to learn or the images you chose to use were wrong, right? Because images also, the kind of images you're using is also a part of your design. Don't design something in white and black and they're going to use a red image it doesn't make any sense. As much as you plan for design, as much as you plan for font, as much as you plan for typography, also plan for images. Your images should. Let me show you something. I'm pretty sure you all have seen most of the works I'm about to show you, but in case you've not, this should help you figure out what I'm saying. So take a look at this website here. The theme of the website basically was based around mental health. Now, ideally, what are the things you find around mental health? Now, people are usually mental health basically talks about a lot of the time people who are going through mental health situations have like two faces, double faced, and because of that, there's like it's usually cloudy, right? There's like this cloudy personality about them. Now, it simply means if we're going to be designing something around that, we need to kind of like make the images speak around that area. Simply said, the images should be underexposed, not balanced, but underexposed, a bit under the weather. A lot of dark tones around the images, and slightly very vague use of colors. Meaning, if I thought they're going to be color, it would be one color, one major color, one accent color. But nonetheless, it would be toned down, underexposed. Now, the person who selected these images, I was very impressed because I didn't do the selection. Now, when I went through the images, aside from the fact that, well, the search prompts for these images are also around depression and the likes and mental health, means the photographers did a good job in getting the tones right. And that is why the website looks completely in sync, as though the images were shot specifically for the website. The lighting there is barely any major lighting within the images, right? Take a look at it. Look at this one, underexposed, almost no sun, almost no sun, almost no sun. Once you plan for image, you plan for your layout, you should also plan for your fonts. Another one that I would love to show is the one on wood furniture, where basically this was same tone all across. Nothing was out of theme. The one for aesthetics home is also the same thing. Nothing was out of theme at all. No images were overexposed. Everything was balanced, everything balanced. I think Eugene Zone 2 is one of the ones that, like, I enjoyed the most. The website kind of like gives old newspaper vibe, which means the kind of images we should be using are like images with that medieval standard, that old grainy images as well. So if you look at the images we use there, the images we use here, well, pretty much the same thing anyways. But that's the idea, right? I think I've said enough about images. So if you're part of this conversation, next time you're going to tag me your design, I want to see wonderful images. The same way your design should look good, your images should also look good, because images can ruin your work if you choose wrongly. So now let me go back to my design and hope I don't choose wrongly as well. So Travelog, I like this tone. I'm going to be using a lot of this tone. I like this tone as well. I'm going to be using a lot of this tone or something within this as well. So basically you can see a lot of vignette, right? There's a lot of vignette, travel destinations. Fine. Like, I think I'm just going to use everything in this first screen. Copy this, paste it. This looks like I don't know. I've never left my house before. So I'm just going to slap it there. Just going to randomly slap the images where they should be, or where I feel they should be. This looks like Jamly. This is giving Monique vibe. I think, am I correct? Let me confirm. All right, so I'm just going to use those images randomly, and I believe you all already get the idea to what I'm trying to say. So I wouldn't be too careful choosing my images. I'm just going to wing it like so. So Tokyo would have its vibe because Tokyo is very bright. Tokyo has a lot of colors. So I probably would do a proper search when I get there. Not so important, but I would try to do. This is giving Santorini vibes, but we don't have Santorini, so I'll use Nairobi for there. And let's see if we can get a few more. We are almost done. We have 3, 4 to go. I can choose to use an image twice if it's that good. Tokyo is left. All right, let's search for Tokyo, or let's search for travel destination. I knew this was going to happen. All right. Yeah, we are done. So basically, I just need to fill these spaces with images. But besides that, I'm sure we are done. This is not correct. Do you know? Do you agree with me? Does someone agree with me this is not correct? Does someone agree with me this is not correct? It is not making this website look good at all. Why? Because it is way too bright, very exposed, a lot of deep colors, unlike these quiet, subtle images. Yeah, the image tone. So now that you have seen it, I believe you guys have learned a lot about images tonight. This is how proper design class should be, where you are learning, you are actively seeing and learning. So the image tone is wrong. So it means next time whenever you're working with images, you know what kind of tone to look for. So let's keep scrolling till we find something that suits the tone of the image of the website we're trying to work on. Now, the truth is this, yeah? If we had gone for a loud toned website, even with the same layout, let's say we started using many colors at some point in time in our website, it would work perfectly, right? But because of the direction we went, using white and black alone, that image would not fit. So keep in mind. All right, now this is the same location, but this looks much better. So I'm going to copy this. You see the difference, yeah? Look at the difference between this guy and this guy. They are exactly the same location, but the vibe is completely different. This is the kind of vibe we are going for. It feels boring, Sha. I'm not going to lie, it feels boring, but I'm going to allow it. Let's allow it, please. Let's allow it. I love this one. Yeah, I love this one here. I'm going to take this, copy this image, paste it here. I love the image, but okay, let's put that as Tokyo. Hopefully, somewhere in Tokyo looks like that. And I need one more here, a few more here. More, there's a lot of work here. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think I want to bore you with just filling in images when I know you already get the idea towards that, to what that should look like. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I have to change this one. This is causing a nuisance in my design. So let me change it. Yeah, I like this one. Yeah, I like this one. I like this one. But this is London. Does it matter? Okay. Maybe not because of my text. Let's see if I make it white. It is giving the right vibe, but the color seems to be a bit off. It's the right image, but not there. It's the right image, but not there. If it was kind of like, if it had more white, it would make so much sense. It's the right. Okay, let me see if I can just add the white to itself myself. Nah. It's just going to ruin the image still. Nah, it's going to ruin it. I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to look for another image that has that tone that I'm looking for. I like this Mumbai vibe here. Oh, ṣé Mumbai mo fẹ́ lò báyìí? Who heard that part? Who heard that part? Ṣé Mumbai ni mo fẹ́ lò báyìí? All right, so someone said, is this how us is saying the colors is off, but I can't see it. God I beg. Okay. All right, you see that part of you not seeing it. That part is experience. Unfortunately I can't teach it. Right? That part is experience. It's as simple as that. Now you should just compare that one to this one now. And I'm sure once you compare that one to this one, you would see what I'm saying. You should just see it. I wish I had not undone that. Okay. Let me see if I can. I'll copy this and then undo. So you can see. So I'm just going to replace this guy and let you compare. So look at it side by side and see what I was trying to say. You get it here? Does it make more sense now about this not being balanced? I think it should make more sense now that you're saying it side by side. So let me get one last one, and I'm done. One last one. We have entered black and white. Now we are entered colorful. I like the way this website is laid out. Like everything is well planned, well executed. They know they miss. And how do they actually choose the tones of image? Like, is there an AI that does that? Definitely, it has to be AI. Because how do you like loading and I'm done? Yeah. So yeah, before you guys go, I'm going to reiterate on something. Right. This is going to be happening. Yeah. Make sure I have the course recorded. Once that is set, we are going to be having the once a week. We're going to be having the classes once a week. I mentioned earlier that I'm planning something, an exclusive access to a few people that are interested. The Discord channel has been shared. Basically, what you have to do is join the Discord channel, and if you want me to share you resources, exclusive invites to join me in calls where I design live like this one. Although that one I may not be doing so much explanation because I'll be doing it within working hours. But you will be able to ask questions and I'll be able to like give answers based on the urgency of the question, right? So please do well to join the Discord if you're interested. Of course, I'm still Ozenwa, so definitely you will always find me on Twitter, but that is exclusive. That one is very exclusive to those who are interested. So the image I saw that time was a video, unfortunately. So I'm just going to use this. At this point, I'm not so bothered about what image I'm using anymore because I'm tired. I'm happy you guys were able to follow up with what I did here. Thank you very much for that. And thank you very much, guys. We are here. This is the end of the tutorial. Now, before you go, I want to show you what this looks like on my iPad. My iPad has perfect screen dimension, so it's going to feel like an actual browser. Give me a moment to fetch my iPad and prototype this. I'm still with you. I never run Komoot. All right, so yeah, Travelog is the website. So yeah, this is giving us the PC vibe. So we're going to use this to prototype the website so you can see what it looks like on an actual device. I'm going to press play and it should load up in a bit. Maybe I'm just going to stop sharing in this main screen. Let me stop sharing here so you all can. This is the second website. Sorry, we couldn't. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. So, yeah, this is what it looks like if you were viewing it, if you were browsing, and then if you were browsing, this is basically what it looks like. So, nice, mad. We did a good job. We did a good job. We did a good job. Nice, mad, it's mad, it's mad. We did a really good job. Yeah, at this point, you hold on the press button and then it takes you into the experience. I'm so sorry we couldn't. I will try to do it for Blender, yeah, and then see what it looks like. But yeah, that's basically it. You will see it on. I will share the experience on Twitter eventually, and there we go. So yeah, so I'm not trying to shade anybody. I know you guys have seen how difficult this process is. If I were doing it alone, I most likely would have finished earlier than now. It is always this difficult to come up with any designs. I try as much as possible to be original. I try as much as possible to be original so that my work can be unique. But at the same time, I use as many references as I can get my hands on so that I can have a good idea of where I need, of what destination looks like. Now, one of the things I would love to emphasize on is this. As a beginner, it could be difficult to get creative. Now, creativity is a level that you will get to. It's not so much of talent, I must say, because yeah, I don't think creativity is so much of talent. Some people are naturally creative, which is fine, but creativity in design is definitely something you have to prepare for and you have to be willing to accept. And I do say something, before you can get to the realm of being creative, meaning thinking creatively and executing creatively, you must first achieve the level of clean design. Now, many don't be getting to that level of clean designs yet. And it is simply because many are not putting in enough effort. Now, trust me, this is just a side project. We don't have an actual client here. And you can see how much thought went into this design. Now, assume if it was a client's project where we have to do several calls, get direction, understand what to do. Now, the only way you can nail things like this at a go is when you have given enough time to practice. And don't practice amiss. It's just like praying. Some people pray, but they pray amiss. And I pray that's not our portion. Whenever we pray, we want to pray in alignment to the will of God. The same way you want to design. Whenever you are designing, you want to design with alignment. You don't want to spend 5 hours designing and then learn to pay attention to detail, learn to be careful, learn to be slow, learn to understand why you are making decisions. Don't say because you think it is good, you do it. Until you have gotten to the point where you cannot make mistakes again, where your design, if you're even doing rubbish, it will look fine. Until you are there, you are not allowed to do so too many thinking, because yep, with guided design, you can help yourself achieve clean design very quickly. Now, I am not trying to slow anybody down at all. This is not me trying to slow you down. An honorable advice. Don't be too eager to do too much. Start slow. Pay very good attention to your designs. Pay very good attention. Don't misalign. Don't have alignment issue for no reason at all. Don't have alignment issue for no reason at all. When you're using 4 pixel grids, use 4 pixel and let 4 be 4, not 3.6. Things like that. You know, it seems so little, like, why are we paying too much attention to that? But of course, like, the results will show eventually, right? The results will show eventually. So basically, that's how to get creative. The more you do, the better you get. The more attention you pay, the more you're able to see what is necessary and break the rules. You can see that most of what we have here, a lot of things are aligned because they were guided by our grid. But most of the things on this design are not falling into certain alignments. You can't nail it that perfectly. if you don't know what proper alignment should even look like in the first place. It feels like I'm preaching. But yeah, of course, once in a while, it's good to share the gospel of design. So, yeah, of course, please talk about this session. I beg in the name of God, talk about this session on Twitter. Like, let it trend. The same way you people bust, like you people destroyed my notification bar because of challenge. Yeah, you can do that. I'm giving you permission to do that on behalf of this call. And yeah, I'll see you next week. For those who would be in the Discord, I will see you immediately after this call. For those who would not be, I will definitely see you on Twitter. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. You don't come out. This was just a call. I want close call. I need this one enter call. Madu.